Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed the most recent upload where we received all the parts on the table over here from Texas Speed. I am so antsy I couldn't even sleep, so I decided to come back up here to the shop. You guys that have been on the channel for a while know that in true after hours fashion, I work all the time, all through the night. Sometimes just because I can't sit still and I love working on my projects. So we're going to tear into this thing. I literally just pulled it in the shop, so I'm going to turn the fan on it. I'm going to pull the covers off. They cover the top of the engine here and let it start cooling down before I can start tearing it apart. And I may watch a couple videos on tearing it down because like I was telling you guys in the last video, if you watched it, this is my first gas engine teardown / heads and whatnot. It doesn't look too complicated. I've been doing a lot of work with Cletus up there at his shop, so I've learned a lot really fast. I don't think it's going to be too difficult. So with that being said, we're going to tear into it. But for you guys that have been criticizing me, we're going to have a come to Jesus moment right now on these videos. Okay, guys, I made this YouTube channel because of my passion for doing things, but I'm not going to cater to what you guys all want to see. If you guys love the diesel content, I pray that you hang in there for when the diesel content is here and when it's not. And then I bought a Corvette. I didn't buy a Corvette because Cletus has one or because I'm trying to copy people and do other videos other people are doing. I'm doing this stuff because I want to do it. After being around Cletus and everything he does with Corvettes, he let me drive one. I fell in love, and I decided to go and buy one for myself. So since I have a YouTube channel, obviously I'm going to record everything that I do and show you guys the full process of what's happening. So this is what we're doing. We're going to tear into it. If you guys like the video, please smash the like button and comment down below if you see anything you think I'm doing wrong or if I could do it better, or if you have any advice for me on what I'm doing. This video will be me tearing it down and getting everything ready to get back together. So this will be part one, and the part two will be the car going completely back together with all the parts. So with all that being said, I'm going to get the camera placed, and we're going to start tearing this thing down and get the fan turned on and put on a nice time lapse for you guys, so hold tight. So I've got all the coil packs off the car. I broke a couple of wires, but as I was pulling them off, I did notice that the cylinder on the passenger side, like the second from the back, actually had a broken wire, and the car's kind of having a little bit of a stutter here lately. So I'm almost positive that maybe we just had a bad wire this whole time. So I'm gonna put all new plug wires on it whenever I do put it back together. So I'm glad I kind of found that while we're doing this. So all that's off. We've got the alternator pulled off of it. The intake's pushed out of the way. I think the next thing to do is pull the intake off. I've got the EGR pulled loose. I know we're going to be getting rid of that, or whatever that is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the EGR. So obviously we're going to be getting rid of that because we're putting the headers on. So I've kind of bent that one out of the way so we could do what we had to do. But now I'm going to get the intake pulled off. But before I do that, I'm going to use our air compressor over there and blow all this over on top of the engine as clean as possible before I start pulling this intake off, so I don't have a bunch of dirt falling down inside the engine. All right, so I've got the intake 100% unbolted. We've got all the wires loose. We're going to get it set out of here. My first LS intake removal, y'all. It's going down. This is interesting for sure. Set that out of the way. And done ripped my rubber, dude. That ain't no good. I have to change it out. Dang it. So I think I'm gonna shove some well, you know what, we don't have to worry about cleaning the heads, I guess. I don't know what to do next. I guess we'll pull the heads off maybe and then move on. I don't know. Kinda just want to figure this out on my own instead of having to watch videos. Looks like there's a ground back here. Looks like a vent breather for the back of the intake. Oh dang, I got my hands all dirty.
Spraying like black.
Need to go grab a grab another glove. So we're gonna move on to getting, I've got the time lapse going right there. So I'm gonna move on to getting these valve covers removed, I guess, and see what else we can figure out from there. So I managed to get the rockers all off the heads. They're sitting right there. My time lapse I had going died, and I didn't notice it till after I had the rockers already off. But as you can see, we've got the heads all bare on this side. That side I've got to remove like the power steering pump brackets and stuff like that. So I don't know what else going to get into that, but we'll figure that out in a moment. But I've got the head, the bolts that are up here in the front of it. Guys, I'm learning terminology, so you have to bear with me. But I've got the bolts that are up here near the intake plenum already out, and I've got my 1/2-inch Milwaukee up here. We're going to buzz out the main head bolts now and get the passenger side head off, because I already checked. There's nothing really bolted to the back of it. I've got my manifold loose. Once we get the head off, I'll pick the car up, because we're already getting the lifts off the ground now to make it easier to work on. And we'll pick the car up, pull the unbolt that manifold, and actually pull it out from the top. I think that's going to be a little bit easier than pulling it out from the bottom, from what I can tell under there. So we're going to get the head unbolted now and go from there. So I had to stop for a moment because I forgot to drain the coolant and it started seeping out of the head. So I got the coolant drained, and now we're back on track. I'm gonna get back here to this last bolt, try to sneak her back in there. That should be all that's left for this head on this side. So I think we can, well, I may have to pull these bolts out in order to get them. I don't know if that's gonna happen though. Just make sure they're all loose, and it should come out. Yep. El Hedo is El Luceo. Oof. It's definitely toasty. For sure. It's hot. Something's still connected back there. Wire. Bolted up. Heck yeah. Pull it out far enough to see it or not. Unclamp it, maybe. It's hot. One stock LS cylinder head off of the car. That one got cornets, so that's why it looks a little bit different, but there it is, folks. We got passenger side head off. She's a stocker. I think these new heads up the compression too, so that's pretty cool. But yep, there it is. So now that we've got that head off, I'm going to most likely just go ahead and pull the other side off. I don't know if I'm gonna get on a film or not, because my camcorder man's probably gonna have to go home here in a minute. But let's see. This side's off. You guys can see all the good stuff in there for you diesel peeps who ain't never seen the inside of a gas motor, because this is my first time really messing with an LS. So I'm gonna get that head pulled off, then get the valley plate pulled off and pull the lifters and all that good stuff out, and then move on to what's next. So hold tight, guys. We'll be back in just a moment when I get the other head off. So fellas, well, and ladies, I do have like 5% female viewers. I've got the head off of this side. I went ahead and pulled the valley tray out. I pulled all the lifters out. I know you guys say you're tired of me or you don't like it when I just tell you what I've done after I've already done it. But I'm gonna do an extremely in-depth installation of all the parts. I'm telling you what's coming out now, and you're gonna get a very clear view and video and everything else of how the car goes back together. But the heads are off. The knock sensors that sit down inside the engine, they basically listen for engine knock noise. I'm gonna talk to Jeremy with Faster Problems, because he's gonna be the one that's tuning it, and see if I need to put these back in, because on some of the stuff I've done with Cletus, they didn't reinstall those, so I don't know if we do or not. So with that being said, I'm gonna find out from him when it becomes a little bit more, when the morning comes around, and see what he thinks we should do, if I should put those back in or not. But here's the factory push rods. Those are all out, and right here are the factory lifters. I can see down in there at the cam, you guys can't really see it now, but when I get the cam pulled out, it does look like it has some wear from just time on the, just being in the car, but there's not much, there really isn't any sludge in the engine. It looks very, very good. There's a little bit of dirt that fell down in there from pulling the valley cover off, stuff like that. I'm gonna get cleaned out really good. A couple tips if you guys are gonna be doing this yourself. The power steering pump, there's 4 bolts that go into the front of the head on this side right here, and there's a couple behind the pulley you can't really get to with an impact or a socket. So I actually just did those a little bit at a time until it came off, because I don't have a power steering pulley here. I think I've done the easiest part right now so far. We've got about an hour and a half tear down time, so I feel like I'm doing pretty good. I don't know if you guys think that's pretty good. Let me know in the comments. But an hour and a half for pulling the heads, pulling the valley cover, and all that good stuff. So the hardest part now is putting the cam in, or pulling the old cam out. And I'm looking down here inside the engine bay, and it looks like the rack for the steering is right in front of the crank pulley. So I am gonna go in the office and watch a video on how to pull the steering rack out of the car, or really how to get the crank pulley off. So I'm gonna go do that now. So I'll be right back. All right, folks, so skip ahead about 45 minutes or so. I've been figuring out how to get the front crank pulley out. I did have to remove the radiator and stuff like that. I don't have to pull the AC system apart and have to worry about breaking that. I don't know if I pull AC compressor off. A couple videos I watched, people were talking about pulling the AC compressor off. I'm gonna try to avoid that, so I don't have to worry about vacuuming down and recharging AC, because it works freaking phenomenal in the car right now. So after looking at a couple installs on forums and videos, I'm gonna have to pull the power steering rack. So the only bad part about that is you gotta take the wheels off. Well, I went to pull the wheels off to lower it in one of the videos where I found out it had a brand new transmission in it, and there's a special wheel lock, and I don't have the tool because it's not in the car. So I'm gonna have to wait till the dealership opens up and go to the dealership and ask them, either buy one, borrow one, whatever, so I can get these wheels off the car to get the rack out. So for the time being, I'm gonna let the car down, pull the power steering lines off, basically get everything ready to go when it comes to pulling that rack out, so that I can get the wheels off and slide the rack out, and then I can pull the front balancer off the front of the car. I am gonna make some phone calls and see if it's worth my time to put like an ATI balancer on the car, since I'm gonna try to go for a lot of horsepower, the stock bottom end. And as much of a huge pain in the ass this is to get to that balancer and get it off, I'm definitely gonna see about if I need to replace it, go ahead and do it now, so I don't have to worry about going through all this work to get to that. So for now, I'm gonna let the car back down. We have been leaking fluids everywhere. So I'm gonna let the car back down. and start working on that. But before I do that, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling the exhaust off the car. I think I was telling you guys it's already got an aftermarket X-pipe back here, and it's got some kind of an aftermarket mufflers back here. I don't know what brand they're. Obviously, they're not anything fancy, but they're there and they're working. So a couple people that I talked to that have done this cam install from Texas Speed and heads and whatnot, they're just running straight pipes. So what I'm gonna do for now is run it with this mufflers that are on it now, and if it's not loud enough, I don't like it, then I'll probably go ahead and straight pipe it from there, or do some kind of a Venom exhaust system I've looked into, all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna get the factory manifolds out of here and get the cats out of it and go from there. So sorry I'm not giving you guys a bunch of videos of me doing all the removal of all the parts, but just bear with me, please. We're gonna have some awesome install footage in the next video, so hold tight. All right, guys, so jump ahead. I went home, went to sleep, got a couple things done, came back to the shop. It's actually the next night, and we had to work on a couple customer trucks to get them out the door before the weekend, and I've got the vet back in the shop. I actually had to push it out because we had to do cab mounts on a truck and get a head put on another truck, and still trying to do a turbo on that one every now and then because it's kind of getting annoying, so I've been messing with the vet too. But got my handy dandy Chevrolet mechanic over here showing me how to tear apart a motor. He says he can tear one apart, but I don't think put one back together.
No, I'll take it apart. I'll put it back together. It might end up
You've
looking
done
like
spit shine this block, boy. I'll tell you what, you got a good spitter on you. So block's all clean right here. We've got the valley clean. We have filled this thing full of brake clean to where it's got the thinnest oil possible down there. We're just gonna run it. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna change the oil and flush the engine out really good. But we got both sides all clean, ready to go for the heads and intake and all that good stuff. But we still have our cam in there. I had a puller for the balancer, and I thought it would work, but it didn't. So Brian, one of my buddies, just went to another buddy's house. He said he has a balancer puller that will work, so he's going there to get the puller to pull it off. We had to pull the power steering rack out of the front of the car. All kinds of stuff had to come out in order for us just to get to this front balancer. I'm almost thinking it would have been easier to pull the engine out with how much BS we've had to go through to get to this. But I did go to the speed shop today, and we had a bunch of other cool parts show up. We've got a brand new timing chain kit. It is a roller timing chain. So that's brand new right there. We got a brand new Melling oil pump. It's a higher pressure, or not really. It's a little bit higher pressure, but it's very much it's a higher volume oil pump. And as I was telling you guys, the spark plug wires came apart. They're sitting over here. When I was pulling them out, this factory stuff kind of like came apart, and it was just really shitty. Like it pulled out the end of it and didn't work out. So, and one of them was actually broken. So I picked up some new MSD coil wires. They're actually for trucks. They're just a little bit longer, and these sweet little blue condoms to go on them. So those are gonna be cool to go match with the color of Ralph right here. So everything's coming together. We're gonna get the cam and everything pulled out, and that'll pretty much be the end of this video. And then part 2, which will go up probably the following day, will be us assembling this thing and probably taking it to the track on Saturday. So he will be here shortly with the rest of the parts to pull this balancer off, and we're gonna get to that. Brian made it back from picking up our puller and the special little puller kit that we got here, and had the pogo sticks here on. Is this thing gonna put it back on?
No.
Yeah, it will. No, it won't.
No, use the crank bolt.
Oh, true. So that's right there. We're gonna set it off there now. Here we go. That's off. This lift is definitely coming in handy for working on this car for show. I was reading some stuff on the internet. People talked about not having a lift, and they were able to do it, but there ain't no way in hell I'd try to do this without a lift. So we've got the timing covers all exposed there. I'm gonna grab the impact and buzz the bolts off of it and take her loose there, folks. So there's a couple of oil pan bolts that are gonna have to come off. Maybe 1, 2.
You don't have to pull the whole pan off?
No. How you wanna hold this there, partner?
Well, 2 because it's live.
I hope you have 10 kids.
I hope the hell I don't.
A bunch of little Brians running around.
Oh, Lord.
You pay child support for 50 of them.
Oh, Lord.
That's better than a bunch of little Bruces running around.
You already got a personality and one of them's on a period.
Oh, yeah. Ellie's gonna be pregnant, though.
Yeah, Jed's getting the job done.
No, I'm gonna take her to the vet and have them help him.
Get there and grab it? No.
All right, so we got the oil thing. Oh dang, it just comes right off there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh dang, look how that timing chain's slightly worn out, y'all.
Oh boy.
Dang, I think it's like
It's supposed to be like that.
not that much.
No.
No,
Not that much.
It'll be alright.
I'm glad we are replacing it because that thing's.
Look at how much plays in it. We just advance and retard a few degrees. Like
Ain't
a
nothing
party.
but a thing.
Pull that oil pump off.
I'm gonna let it down a little bit so I can stick my head up in there. Alright, so I need a 2mm wrench. It's on the table behind you. What up? So we got the cover off, and as you guys seen, this cam gear, it's got, I think it's got more play than it should. If you guys think that's normal, then comment below and let me know, but that looks like a lot, so. Got to pull this oil pickup. I'm trying to do the best I can up here in the space I've got. We gotta pull this oil pickup, unbolt it from the oil pump, then we'll pull the oil pump off, and I've got a brand new oil pump we're gonna put in there also. So I'm gonna get that off. That's Austin. You wanna hold that somewhere right there, and I'll try not to get ate by. Now you gotta be careful not to drop this bolt down in the oil pan, because that wouldn't be very fun. We still gotta drain the oil out of it.
Heck yeah.
Forgot about that. Whoops.
You just leave that bolt in there and put a magnet in the bottom so that way it stays sturdy.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. It'll find its way.
All right, get that somewhere safe.
In the oil pan. That the only bolt?
Right there. You got it looking right at that thing, whatever that is. Damn it. I'm assuming it just slides right off the front of it, like so. One oil pump removed. I need that impact again there, Sir Brian.
Which one?
That one. Now the oil pump's off, we're gonna pull these bolts off to hold the cam gear in place. I got something wet dripping down my back and it's freaking me out. Okay, it's just cool.
Alright.
One cam bolt. Two cam bolt. Oh, I guess I should have put it at, yeah, whatever, we'll figure it out. There you go.
It only goes one way.
Ouch!
I guess it is a cam retainer.
It's all in the dirt now.
Oh. It'll be alright. It's Chevrolet.
There's a gasket right there, so you need to, I think,
Oh, it's probably on the motor.
no, there's a gasket.
Oh, it's like an O-ring. Oh, it's a gasket.
So let's be super duper careful.
Hold on.
No, there's not one in there. So scratch and break.
As you drop it. That's an O-ring.
No, don't fuck with it. Just
Can I take it out?
I'll just wipe it. Just don't be brake clean. Put a little bit of brake clean on them. Hang on. Let me get my hands clean. Alright. These are those blue rags. Alright, Austin. You know what we're about to do?
Take the wind blender maker out.
I think I'm going to the gyno. I don't know how many bumps are on it. Hopefully this cam ain't too terribly bad. This might be easier to do from the top, you think? Oh,
No.
she's coming.
You just gotta wiggle it.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
You got all the lifters out, right?
Yeah.
That one you forgot about.
Oof, there's water going down my back. Oh my goodness. Alright, pull it out. One L Camshaft AO out of the block. She don't look bad. She don't look bad for a white cam. What you think? Nice. What do you think about the girth? Has it got enough girth?
You got enough girth to get something pregnant.
Oh,
Drop
shoot.
that one on the floor.
Yeah, we'll save that one for later, maybe. Alright, one cam out. You know what that means? Alright, fuck, now I look all retarded like it's staged. You gotta look it on me now on the ground. Alright, so one cam out, and you guys know what that means. I told you when we got this thing completely tore down, it'll be the end of part one. So that is the end of part one. Be sure to tune into the next video, maybe it'll go up the next day or so, of part two of this thing going together with all the new Texas Speed parts over there. And the first startup of the C5 Corvette. We are going to name him Ralph. What do you think about Ralph?
Wreck it.
Ralph. Wreck-It Ralph. So,
Don't wreck
it's going to be a lot of fun. Start up in the next video. Make sure you guys are paying attention. Also go to all my social media, Bruce_AfterHours on Instagram, and you can see all the behind the scenes of what's happening before I post videos, and then go follow us on Snapchat, After Hour Diesel. Guys, we'll catch y'all later. Make sure you smash the like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. Catch y'all later. Peace out.